Hey guys, what's up? Chris Zoupa here. Lovely to see you all again. Today we're going to be looking at a fusion style whole half legato lick. Let's take a look. Alright, so before we get into this, I'm going to be using diminished scales here. So that can either be referring to a half whole scale, which I'll start with, or a whole half scale, which I'll end with. So I kind of combine the two. If you want to look more into the Messiaen scales, Rick Beato has a absolutely rockin' video on the subject. So it's a really, really cool scale. It's a good way to have an alternative to not always having to play a diminished arpeggio over a diminished chord or that kind of situation. It's good to have a scale as well, so you're not trapped in arpeggio country. So the ascending part of this lick, all of that is the same 6-note pattern on every string. It's just moving in a diagonal fashion. It's got a bit of a butter snips vibe, a bit of a Holdsworthy thing. Anyway, I'll stop jibber-jabbing and get right to it. That 6-note pattern on the 6th string, I'm going to play 4-7-4, then I'm going to hammer 5-7, and then slide to 8, and that's going to give us 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to do the exact same idea, but start from 5 for the 5th string. So I'm going to go 5, 8, 5, 6, 8, 9. Then I go to 6th fret of the 4th string. I'm going to play 6, 9, 6, 7, 9, 10. Now you'll notice that I'm not trying to do 4-fingered legato. I'm doing that slidey thing. It helps with the diagonal phrasing, or the diagonal shifting, but I think the phrasing of the slide is interesting because you've got sort of the legato sound of the hammer-ons and the pull-offs, but also the slide adds to the phrasing of this. So it's going to make your legato licks and just this particular diminished phrase sound nice and sexy. So when I get to the 4th string, I then jump to 7th fret of the 3rd. I'm going to play 7, 10, 8, 10, and then slide to 11. Sorry, so 7, 10, 7, 8, 10, 11. Then I jump to the 2nd string, 9, 12, 9, 10, 12, 13. With that cheeky slide over. And then I get to the 1st string. This is going to be the end of the ascending part. I'm going to play 10, 13, 10, 11, 13, 14. So we've got exactly the same 6-note legato pattern on every string. Okay, then from that point, I'm going to work down the diminished scale, but you'll notice on the way up I had these notes, and on the reversal, I'm using some slightly different notes. So I'm still outlining the diminished arpeggio, but instead of doing half whole, I'm doing whole half on the reverse, so you get a slightly different sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this scale as a straight descending scale, and then we'll add sort of a neoclassical 6-note per string pattern. So what I'm doing is this. Pretty disgusting and dissonant, but it does have its place. So what I'm going to do on the 1st string, I'm going to play 13, 12, 10, then 14, 12, 11 on the 2nd string. Then across the next 2 strings, I'm going to do the same thing. 13, 12, 10, 14, 12, 11. So we're going to go. Then from that point, I'm going to be playing 14, 13, 11 on the 5th string. And then 15, 13, 12 on the 6th. So that's the pattern just descending. Pretty disgusting, but it does outline that cool diminished arpeggio and create an interesting scale from it. So the 6-note pattern I'm going to do is pretty simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to pull off 13 to 10, and then I'm going to hammer 12, 13, 12, and then pull off back to that 10. That's how we're going to treat all of these strings. When I get to the 2nd string, I'm going to go 14, 11, 14. Sorry, 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. So we've got... When I get to the 3rd string, I'm going to play 13, 10, 12, 13, 12, 10. Then when I get to the 4th string, 14, 11, 12, 14, 12, 11. This is what we should have thus far. When I get to the 5th string, I'm going 14, 11, 13, 14, 13, 11. And when I get to the 6th string, 15, 12, 13, 15, 13, 12. So this is what we should have now. And that's the whole descent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ascend into the descent relatively slowly, and then we'll do the whole thing even slower with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. And that was my whole half legato lick. It's pretty weird. Hope you guys like that. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please click the links in the description box if you want the tabs from my Patreon with this tab, all of my other solo builders and any other solos that I do. It's all there. So join up with the cool kids. There's also video course exclusives and other things that you can get nice and freebies and other cool stuff there as well. Also have 3 books out at the moment. Shred Guitar Improvisation is my latest. Helping you with improvisation, chord targeting, sequencing, all of that fun stuff. My second book, Rock Guitar Mode Mastery, is out now if you want to understand how to compose and improvise using the 7 modes. And of course, my first book, Ultimate Shred Machine, is still out if you want to up your chops in shredding, sweeping, legato, and tapping. And if you were not much of a reader, all 3 of those books are available on Udemy and in my chriszoupa.com web shop, so you can check that out as well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the lesson. I'll catch you all very soon.